B. Wood, as a former NBA player, as an NBA analyst, you have a couple different perspectives, point of views. You know what it's like to be a teammate. You've dealt with a handful of coaches. You see this Doc Rivers situation. You see his comments. You see Giannis's comments. You see Pat Bev's comments. You see JJ Redick's comments. What do you make of Coach Doc Rivers and the Bucks right now?
Right now, the Doc Rivers situation is a little crazy. It's just so much more back and forth. The Bucks aren't winning. He had to coach the All-Star game, even though he just got there. Then you got Doc and JJ Redick going back and forth. Pat Bev jumping in. Austin Rivers taking his dad's side, of course, like any good son should do. But the biggest, for me, I'm going to let it play out because at the end of the day, all this don't matter. All that matters for the Bucks is how they finish the season. Mm-hmm. You know, if they go on a run and go to the championship, no one cares. But the interesting thing to me is the Doc JJ Redick dynamic. Because I'm not saying that JJ is wrong, because I don't even know. Man, his energy towards Doc is kind of like, it would kind of be like me and Eddie Jordan. Like, I never liked Eddie Jordan as a coach. And if I had a platform like JJ Redick, I might speak to Eddie Jordan in that type of voice. So I'm guessing JJ and Doc got some history and it's playing out on TV right now. That's why it always seems, when he brings up Doc, it seems angry.
Do you feel like he has a point, though, when it comes to the accountability? Like, when you hear a coach kind of come up with a couple different, I'm trying to think of a better term than excuse, but I guess that's just the easiest label you could put on it. Hey, the schedule, hey, mid-season. And from his perspective, he's like, you knew this going into the job. Like, it's not like you didn't know the schedule. It's not like you didn't know you were coming mid-season. It's time for you to have some accountability. And then most people would say, if you look at JJ Redick's point of view, you look at his past teams, his previous situations, is this a common theme with Doc that maybe he's not getting the right, title for, label for, like JJ Redick saying, a lack of accountability?
I think Doc is accountable. At the end of the day, it's just different, though. Most of the time, coaches always fall on the sword. No matter what. Right or wrong, they fall on the sword. Well, Doc ain't doing that. Doc is doing his own thing. And so sometimes when we're not used to hearing things a certain way, we don't like it. But, Doc is basically telling his truth. And at the end of the day, he's still going to coach the way he's supposed to coach, but he's going to tell you his truth about what happened in the bubble or what happened with Philly last year. And JJ thinks he's not holding himself accountable. Me personally, I think Doc's just telling his truth. And most of the time, coaches don't do that. They'll give you the cliche answer or they'll fall on the sword, no matter what the truth is behind the scenes.
Giannis's point of view, very quickly. What do you make of Giannis? He's your star player. He's the second best player in the world. What do you make? Jokic is number one. I'm going to give it to you. So what do you make of Giannis, though? This is your best player who you don't want to leave, right? So it seems like the Milwaukee Bucks are trying to overcompensate. Let's give Giannis help. Let's show we're aggressive. We want him to win a championship. But now you're getting different management group, different ownership, different coaches, different players, and he's clearly frustrated. Is this a situation where winning would heal everything, or do you think this is starting to rub Giannis the wrong way?
I think winning cures everything. You win a championship, you make a run to a championship, all will be forgiven. I'm not sure if things are going to really rub Giannis the wrong way because he's got to be, he has to have some accountability in this situation too. As the team's best player, hey man, they talk to you about the coaching changes. They talk to you about the coaching hires in the first place. So there's some things, and then there's some things schematically that Giannis could do differently. Like when you look around, the pick and roll with Dame and Giannis hasn't turned into what it's supposed to be yet.
No.
And that's more on Giannis than anybody else. When they run that pick and roll with Dame and Giannis, Dame is supposed to come off that screen hard. Giannis is supposed to be sprinting downhill to get right in front of the rim. And then they're supposed to space with a guy like Brook Lopez in the strong side corner, weak side corner, or top of the key. That's not what's happening. A lot of times when they run the pick and roll, Giannis pops. And yeah, I understand he can pop and he's popped in the past, but you're not going to get the most out of this duo until they can come together and play the right way. That's why Jokic and Jamal Murray, that pick and roll works so well and so flawlessly, because Jokic always knew exactly what to do in the pick and roll. When I watched that pick and roll with Dame and Giannis, they still trying to figure it out.
Right. Okay, very quick last thing. Typically, you've experienced this as a player. Take me through it. When your leader says something, it sets the tone for the locker room. Is this a make or break for the locker room, knowing that Giannis went out publicly and said what he said about Doc? Do you think the rest of the team follows Giannis's lead, or do you think it's something that they can just have a meeting about? Is a meeting even needed? Where do you go from there?
Oh, what? I didn't even hear. What did Giannis say about Doc?
Basically, that he was frustrated about the situation, and with just saying the situation as a whole has been very fluid with Milwaukee. Like, he's clearly frustrated.
Oh, okay. Okay, I thought it was something different. I thought I missed something.
Oh, no, I don't got a Woj bomb on you.
I thought he had just said something. I missed it. Yeah. And listen, man. At the end of the day, the leader of the team sets the temperature for the locker room and everybody else. And all Giannis has to do is basically say, hey, they need to have a meeting. Go in and say, hey, guys, I'm 10 toes in. We're gonna do this the right way. We're gonna embrace Doc. We're gonna figure out a way to win. Me and Dave, we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna lead you guys. But at the end of the day, Giannis when you're the best player, you gotta put it on your shoulders and you gotta lead those guys out of the bad times. Right now, Milwaukee's going through some bad times. It's on you, big fella. Lead them out of that.
There you go.